Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I want to talk about Daredevil Born Again Season 2 because I feel like it is heading in the right direction, especially after being so disappointed by the first season. To be fair, they cannot, and I mean nothing, can top the 3 seasons of Netflix Daredevil. It is borderline almost the perfect superhero TV show to exist, from the action scenes to the character study and the main conflict. So you could guess that I was very excited when Daredevil Born Again was set to release in Disney Plus because that show is cancelled unjustifiably so. It has one of the best openings or hook for a TV show, with spoiler alert, Foggy dying while Daredevil is fighting Bullseye, which is just Chef Kiss and their attempts in their one take scene. And the ending of the first episode with Daredevil being in the red and Fist being in the white, I was like, we are so back, baby. Then 6 episodes later, it is hugely disappointing, as I felt like there is no point in the story whatsoever, no overarching plot. It genuinely felt like filler content for the majority of the time. Conflicts introduced and finished in one single episode. The way they handle Muse is baffling, like we only see glimpse of him. Literally. And the build up to Daredevil versus Muse was kinda disappointing. Although the fighting is solid, it's not great, not good, but it's not bad either. Speaking of the fighting sequences, I was a bit disappointed that some of them felt very CGI and floaty, especially the first fight between Daredevil and Bullseye. That's why they added a lot of smoke to high transition to make it seem like one take, but also to hide the fact that it is heavily CGI. I feel like there was too many characters introduced while the original cast from Netflix was like set aside for a majority of the runtime, and especially taking into account that not all the new characters are good. Let's take the therapist's girlfriend because I did not feel the chemistry between the two at all. Matt has more chemistry with that one Latvian woman in the courthouse for that one scene than the entirety of him and his new girlfriend. Talking about scenes, do you ever notice that the shots have this fake bokeh effect in close up? It makes it look disorienting and cheap. It's giving Bethesda dialogue mechanic. You know how it. So basically, the first and last episode of the season were the only cohesive one, as the first one sets up the plot for the first season, while the last sets up for the second season. Killing Foggy was the only explanation why Matt took too long to become Daredevil again, and Karen barely appearing due to grief, I guess. Last episode just solidifies putting Fist and Daredevil conflict to the spotlight again after that whole messy season. It's when you read what happened behind the scenes that it starts to make sense, as they had a huge overhaul after like majority of the show is shot, so they had to call a new creative team as the first one completely disrespects the original, and the new team had to fix it to the best of their abilities, which explains why the first and last episodes made sense and why the season is what it is. So for season 2, I was cautiously optimistic, as the first season kinda left a sour taste on the mouth. To my surprise, it is so much more solid than the first. From the cinematography to the writing to the dialogue and how the characters are handled are very well done. Instead of doing what Rise of Skywalker did to basically backpedal the entire of Last Jedi, they instead stand their ground and build upon it. Although it could be argued that the season kind of feels like a retread of season 3 Netflix's Daredevil, as the only main difference being that it takes inspiration from real world events, ice taking into account social media, and Fisk being the mayor, but the plotline still revolves around Matt stopping whatever Fisk's plan. But the way the season ends absolutely throws that out of the window because they threw a bombshell to reveal Matt's identity to the world, and ending up in jail while Fisk is exiled from New York. Also paving the way for the original cast from Netflix to come back, like Jessica Jones and Luke. And this is how they transitioned to be incorporated to the MCU. Why do I say that this season feels like a retread of season 3 Netflix Daredevil? Is because they both use video testimony to expose what Fisk did, and they're both having a war in public opinion. Being the difference is that Fisk is the mayor, while in Netflix, he's hiding in the penthouse. Again, I'm not saying this is a complete copy paste or like how Force Awakens was just a retread of A New Hope that ultimately has no satisfying conclusions to the mystery box that has been established in that movie. But I like the ending because it caused both Matt and Fisk to lose everything. Matt lost his freedom to be with Karen, Fisk loses Vanessa literally while being exiled from New York, the place that he loved. Speaking of characters, I like how Daniel was handled here as he was redeemed from season 1 from just a guy trying to find validation and popularity by joining Fisk. But here he is revealed to have heart and does the right thing. Bullseye is completely redeemed in this episode as he is a scene stealer every time he is on. I just love him so much. I can't get enough of his diner scene or when he fought his imposter. And I like how they use him for Matt's arc on how far he is willing not to kill people he despises, like Batman's no killing rule being rattled. The only one I'm not fully on board is the therapist becoming the new muse because it kinda came out of nowhere. I mean, they kinda show the whole season that she's losing her mind, so maybe muse is more of a state of mind than an individual. Before I end, I just want to talk about the fight scenes in this season because I feel like they did the original show justice. I mean, it's not a literal one take like season 1 or 3 in Netflix, because those scenes will forever be iconic, but at least they went the route of season 2 of hiding the cuts really well. And it is so much ahead in so many levels to Born Again season 1. So yeah, I think that's all from me. Thank you for watching. I definitely recommend watching this show because I heard that the views are not up to expectations, even though it's so much better than season 1. So yeah, give it a watch. And as for the next video, I don't know yet.